Right. Uh, Welcome to the session. Hello, good evening, everybody. Okay, we will now till the last class, last topic. It was about the various parts of nuclear power plant. Like I have explained every part in detail. All the explanation of all the components of nuclear power plant almost has been completed. Right, coming to the new topic, which is nuclear. This also I have finished. Materials used for reflector. Okay, reflector means I told that reflector. I mean our inside our nuclear vessel or nuclear reactor, the compartment, the place where the nuclear reaction is taking place. I mean around that place or that nuclear fuel rods and graphite material are enclosed in a frame which is called which is made up of a reflector material. I mean, with what materials we try to make a reflector, I want to tell. Okay, I mean, our reflector is made up of graphite, heavy water. Okay, what is control rod? It is a rod which is used for controlling any mechanism. What is control rod means? This um, moderator and control rods are there to control the nuclear reaction. What is control rod means? It is a rod which is used for controlling the mechanism of this nuclear reaction will be controlled by using a control rod. Example, gear rod in the vehicle is used for controlling or changing the speed. Gear rod is used for controlling or changing the speed. Right. And next is normally gear rod means in while driving a bike or car, whatever, I mean, according to the speed variations, we change the gear. Similarly, this, I mean, according to the change of gear, um, our car also will run as per that speed. So your control rod also will work I mean, this control rod is an instrument which will control the nuclear reaction, or it will control the mechanism which is mechanism of a nuclear reactor. Right. What is the need of control rods in nuclear reactor? In nuclear reaction, the released neutrons are further participated in next stage nuclear reaction causes it will speed up the reaction. In nuclear reaction, the released neutrons, whatever the neutrons which are released, they will participate in next further stage. Okay, and they will speed up the reaction. Means never a nuclear reaction or a chain reaction will not stop. Okay, once, I mean, one neutron when bombarded with uranium atom, you get three neutrons. One neutron when bombarded with uranium atoms, you get three neutrons. These three neutrons again will bombard with each individual uranium atoms, and again for every reaction, three neutrons will be released. In order to slow down the nuclear reaction, we need a special equipment. So if suppose we want to slow down the nuclear reaction, or suppose if the chain reaction is becoming uncontrollable, then what we should do? If chain reaction is becoming uncontrollable, in order to slow down the nuclear reaction, we need a special equipment. Okay, a special equipment which is there in our nuclear power plant or in our nuclear reactor. It is just nothing but a control rod. In order to slow down the nuclear reaction, we need a special equipment which absorbs the neutrons released in the reaction. That device is called as control rods. Okay, control rods are that part of the nuclear reactor which will control the nuclear reaction. Materials used for control rods. With what materials the control rods are used? With what material the control rods are made? With what are the materials which are used to make control rods? They are cadmium and boron. These are the two materials which easily absorb neutrons. Okay, as they absorb neutrons, I mean the reaction. What happens is the reaction will stop there itself if the height of the control rods is at, I mean, usually the height of the control rods will be adjusted according to the requirement of the nuclear reactor. I mean, according to how much amount of heat is liberated. According to that, control rod arrangement will be done. Okay, if control rods are very nearer to the placement of nuclear fuel, where the nuclear fuel is placed, if the new control rods are placed very nearer to the nuclear fuel, then more and more neutrons will get absorbed. If they are placed a bit far away from nuclear fuel, slowly this control rods absorb neutrons. If they are kept a bit more far away or they are kept more farther, then the absorption of neutrons by this control rods will be very slow. So based on the movement of control rods in a nuclear vessel or nuclear reactor, I mean based on the movement of control rods, we decide about controlling of chain reaction or nuclear reaction, right? View of cadmium control rods. These are the cadmium control rods. Okay, see, they are showing how control rods are placed nearer to the nuclear fuel element, so that neutrons will get absorbed easily and the reaction can get easily controlled. Right, views of cadmium rods. Okay, right, fuel and control rods. How fuel and control rods are placed based on that, I mean how the reaction is controlled. So this is again a diagram which is showing nuclear reactor and the function of nuclear power plant. You are having fuel and control rods. Okay, there is a reactor vessel and circulating water. I mean you are using water only as coolant, and you are trying to circulate the water. I mean when the water is sent inside and the hot water is taken out, and in this way the circulation of water is done and water is converted into steam energy, and this steam is given to the steam turbine. Okay, as the steam is given to the steam turbine, this mm, heat energy is converted into mechanical energy, and this mechanical energy is given to the alternator as input. Alternator converts mechanical energy to electrical energy, and the output electrical energy will be given to power grid. Okay, or power grid, or it will be transmitted to long distances, or it may be connected to grid also. This is view of cadmium control rods. See how cadmium control rods, I told that, I mean this cadmium control rods or control rods will stop the reaction as required. Okay, whenever we want to stop the reaction at a sudden, or if we want to slow down the reaction also, they can be helpful. Okay, how this control rod serve that purpose of slowing down the nuclear reaction or controlling the nuclear reaction? How it does is by placement of control rods at a particular height. If the control rods are very placed very nearer to the nuclear fuel, then more and more amount of neutrons will get absorbed. If they are placed a bit far away, however I explained just few minutes back. Similarly, see here, uranium fuel rods are indicated with red color. I mean the rods which are in red color are our uranium or fuel rods. Okay, they have not shown moderator. Moderator here is water itself. Okay, right. In between this uranium fuel rods, you are having control rods, and see the height of control rods. I mean there are 4 control rods, and 4 control rods are not at the same height or at same level. Okay, first control rod is a bit far only from this uranium fuel rod. Second control rod is very nearer to this uranium fuel rod. Third control rod is also far away, and fourth control rod is also a bit far away only. So hot water, right, control rods. Next, the cool water is allowed inside. Cool water is allowed. Cold water is only used as a coolant. It is allowed inside our nuclear reactor, and hot water is taken out from the nuclear reactor. This is a view of cadmium control rods. Okay, right. What is the function of control rods? Okay, I will explain what is the function of control rods. These are placed in the nuclear reactor vessel. These control rods are placed in nuclear reactor vessel. If these rods are placed very deep into the vessel, then it absorbs more neutrons. If these control rods are placed very deep, or if they are placed very nearer to the to the uranium fuel, or if they are placed very deeper, placed at a very deeper level inside the vessel, then it will absorb more neutrons. If these are raised at the top of the vessel, means if they are almost like at the edge, or if these control rods are at the top of the vessel, then if suppose this is the vessel and if they are at the top of the vessel only, then they absorb less number of neutrons. Okay, now a function of control rods is, see they have shown control rods. Okay, I mean here control rods are at the outer only. I mean that light blue or sky blue color arrow is showing the control placement of control rods. Control rods are very far away from uranium fuel rods. So I mean it absorbs very less amount of neutrons. This is a pressure vessel. Okay, and uranium fuel rods are placed in between the moderator, uh, moderate between the moderator, your moderator is in purple color. Okay, and again you are having heat exchanger where water is converted into steam, and coolant is allowed to pass, or coolant is circulated from nuclear reactor vessel to heat exchanger. Okay, and again this circulation will take place, and water is converted into steam in a heat exchanger. Okay, this is function of control rod in a nuclear reactor. Next is it absorbs more neutrons. Okay, what is function of control rod in a nuclear reactor means it absorbs more neutrons. If the see they have placed this light green color thing, I mean control rods are placed almost nearer, or almost on the uranium fuel rods. So more and more amount of neutrons will be absorbed by these control rods, and immediately the nuclear reaction will come into control. Okay, means we can stop, even if we want to stop the nuclear reaction also, then I mean the control rods will be placed at a deeper level in the nuclear reactor vessel, and totally the all the electrons will be absorbed, and immediately there will be a chance for stopping the reaction, or immediately the reaction will be stopped, so that the conversion of nuclear energy to electrical energy, we can do it, or we can stop the conversion immediately. Right, coming to the next slide, this is world's first controlled nuclear reaction using cadmium rod. See, these are graphite or carbon blocks. Okay, the back side they are graphite or carbon blocks, and see cadmium rods outside. You can see that there are cadmium rods, and placement of the rods. How, I mean, if you are pushing the rods at a deeper level in the reactor vessel, or if the rods are placed at the half of the place, or the rods are placed at farther place from the reactor vessel, then according to that this nuclear chain reaction will be controlled. Okay, power or heat control at the reactor. Okay, how heat will be controlled at the reactor means controlling the neutron flux. Okay, by controlling the neutrons, this reactor will be control through flow of coolant. Okay, power or heat control at the reactor. How the this heat will be controlled at the reactor means controlling the neutron flux. If you are able to control the number of neutrons released, why? Because I mean one after the other, the preceding nuclear reactions or in chain reactions, I mean, one after the other, whatever the reactions will be taking place, more and more number of neutrons will be released. If you are unable to control these neutrons, and then we can't have a control at the nuclear reactor. So we need to control the neutrons. Next is control through flow of coolant. How coolant flows in the nuclear reactor. Even we need to control the flow of coolant also in the nuclear reactor. Okay, by controlling the flow of coolant also, we can control the nuclear reactor. If the coolant, I mean, if you'll pass coolant a bit, I mean, if you circulate the coolant from heat exchanger to this nuclear reactor at a faster rate, then also easily heat will be extracted from the nuclear reactor vessel, and it will be passed, or it will be transferred to the heat exchanger. Next is it can be achieved by properly placing the control rods in the nuclear reactor. Controlling the neutron flux. How do we control the neutron flux? Means by placing the rods, by the placement of rods, or by the placement of height of the control rods from the nuclear reactor, whether they are farther or they are deeper inside the nuclear vessel, that will decide the controlling of neutron flux. Next is multiplication factor of reactor vessel. Okay, what is in a nuclear reactor vessel, what is its multiplication factor? Means it is defined as the multiplication factor. It is written with it is denoted with the symbol capital K. This multiplication factor of nuclear vessel is number of neutrons produced in any one generation by number of neutrons produced in the preceding generation. Okay, I mean number of neutrons produced in any one generation by number of neutrons produced in after, in the preceding generation. By dividing this, we get the multiplication factor of nuclear vessel, which is K. Okay. Right, if K is equals to 1, plant is properly working. K is less than 1, neutrons absorbed is maximum. K is equals to 1 means neutrons produced in the preceding generation, or number of neutrons produced in any one generation. If you take any one generation, what are the number of neutrons? And neutrons produced in the preceding, just after that reaction, just after that the nuclear reaction which is taking place, how many number of neutrons are released? If you divide both of them, then if you are getting 1, then the plant is properly working. If this multiplication factor of the nuclear vessel, if it is less than 1, neutron absorption is maximum. If K is less than 1, then neutron absorption is, if K is greater than 1, then neutron absorption is minimum. K greater than 1 is number of neutrons produced in any one generation. Means that time if the number of neutrons are more, and number of neutrons at the present reaction if they are less. Okay, so it will be K is greater than 1 and neutron absorption is minimum. Right. If K is too low, then plant can be shut down. K is too low means number of neutrons in any one generation means, suppose there are nil electrons generated, like if we have placed control rods very nearer to the fuel rod, suppose this is fuel rod and this is control rod, you have placed almost fuel rod on control rod, then what happens? Number of neutrons released will be almost equal to 0. Okay, if multiplication factor is very low, then the plant can be shut down. Next is control through flow of coolant. How flow of coolant controls our nuclear reaction? Means according to relation between mass flow of content and power at constant temperature. Based on the relation between mass flow of coolant and power at constant temperature, the power output is proportional to rate of flow of coolant. The power output is proportional to rate of flow of coolant. Okay, how much power output means, the more the amount of power which is generated, it is proportional to the rate of flow of coolant. Means how fastly the rate of coolant is circulated, then that much amount of power will be produced by using by making the coolant flow properly. Right. It can be done by using coolant temperature recorders, coolant flow indicators. Okay. Even you need to see, what is the temperature of the coolant when you are circulating the coolant from nuclear vessel to heat exchanger. You need to check the temperature of the coolant which is entering into the heat exchanger. Next, this is done by using temperature recorders and coolant flow indicators. So what is coolant flow indicator means? How much flow, less amount of coolant is flowing or more amount of coolant is, what is the rate, what is the speed at which the coolant is flowing, that also plays an important role. Okay, so this is power or heat control at the reactor. It can be done by using these two. Heat control can be done by using coolant temperature reactors and coolant flow indicators. Right. Next, the next topic whichever I want to deal is about measures to control radioactivity, main controls at the reactor. I have already defined, or I have already told the definition of radioactivity, right? The emission of radiation from a nuclear material is called as radioactive. The property of emission of a radiation from a nuclear material or from the nuclear element is called as radioactivity. Okay, uh, what radiations will come out from a nuclear material is the radiations which come out from a nuclear material or nuclear element is alpha rays, beta rays, and gamma rays. Right. Let us now mm, let us now uh, try to discuss in detail regarding this topic. What is radioactivity? Is a phenomenon of spontaneous emission of powerful radiations exhibited by heavy elements. What is heavy element means? Like a nuclear material or radioactive material also you can call. When this heavy element, the phenomenon of spontaneous emission of powerful radiations exhibited by heavy elements. Okay, the heavy elements, whatever the radiations they exhibit, okay, that is called as radioactivity. What are features of radioactivity? Radioactive emissions in the form of alpha, beta, and gamma rays. Active emissions are in the form of alpha, beta, and gamma rays. Radioactive materials give out emissions in the form of alpha rays, beta rays, and gamma rays. Okay, these alpha, beta, and gamma rays cause serious health problems to human beings. So it is dangerous to be in contact with these radiations which are coming out from heavy elements or nuclear elements. These radiations should be controlled with suitable measures. Okay, this radiation should be properly controlled so that the health of the person who is in contact with this radioactive emissions will not get spoiled. Control measures of radioactivity. What are the control measures which we need to take for radioactivity? Alpha radiations, they cannot penetrate through skin. Okay, right. Alpha radiations can be controlled by providing a sheet of paper. Whatever the radiations are there, how they need to be, how we need to control that radiations. Alpha radiations can be controlled by providing a sheet of paper. See, alpha radiations will not penetrate through skin if you provide a separation like a sheet of paper, then this alpha radiations will not pass through the sheet of paper. What are beta radiations? Means beta radiations can travel several meters in air. Okay, beta radiations can travel several meters in air. Okay, beta radiations are unable to penetrate through thick material. Okay, they can travel through several meters in air, but the drawback of beta materials is even if you use a thick material, they cannot penetrate. Hence, these radiations can be used by using sheet of aluminium, lead, or brick. Okay, firstly, I have told that alpha radiations are controlled by providing a sheet of paper. Means thin layer also is sufficient for alpha radiation. To stop or to obstruct alpha rays, thin layer of separation is enough, like a sheet of paper. For beta radiations, you need to require a thick layer of separation, or you need to have a thick layer for obstructing the passage of beta radiations, which is aluminium, lead, or brick. Hence, these radiations can be stopped by using a sheet of aluminium, lead, or brick. Right. What are the control measures of radioactivity? Overexposure of beta radiations causes skin burns, including malignant growth. Okay. What these radiations, I mean, for a while or for some time, they might not show harmful effects on human beings, but if we are exposed for a long time, then definitely they will have an impact on our health. Exposure of beta radiations will cause skin burns. Overexposure I mean, like if they are working for some years on this radioactive materials, or if the plant operator or the nuclear vessel, I mean, the person who is looking after or who is a skilled operator of nuclear reactor vessel, if he is exposed to continue, then definitely he need to get exposed to this type of radiations. Why? Because inside the nuclear reactor only this radiations will come out. If he is if he is overexposed to this beta radiations, then skin burns will cause, including malignant growth. Okay, coming to neutron and gamma radiations, what happens for gamma radiations and what are their properties? Just we will have a look. These radiations can travel considerable distance in air and also in solids. Even in our alpha and beta cannot pass through solids. They can pass through air or thin materials. Okay, but gamma rays, even they can travel to up to some distance in air, and even they can pass through solids also. Gamma radiations can be stopped by using thick layers of lead or concrete. Even these also, in order to stop this radiations also, I mean, in I mean, these radiations, in order to stop these radiations moving out into the air or atmosphere in and around the nuclear power plant, then we need to have, or we need to stop by using thick layers of lead or concrete. Next, radioactivity control in nuclear power plant. Let us study about radioactivity control in nuclear power plant. The plant should be designed with high grade of safety. Like as we have seen in thermal power plant, here the risk, the chances of risk, or exposure to exposure to several problems for in nuclear power plant are more than compared to thermal power plant. Okay, easily we can get affected by, because this nuclear power plant or this nuclear vessel, I mean whatever the reactions which are taking place, we the lot many number of radiations are getting affected. There in thermal power plant we are only undergoing combustion. Okay, what happens in combustion means, along with carbon dioxide, some gases will get released. Okay, even we will try to eliminate the gases into the upper layers of atmosphere. That is the reason that our chimney also will be at a heighted place. I mean, we will try to place the chimney we will try to place a very heighted chimney, so that it will dispose these gases into the upper layers of atmosphere, where uh, I mean, the upper layers of the atmosphere, the air in the upper layers of the atmosphere will not be used for us for respiration purpose also. So that is the reason we do like that. But here, this nuclear power plant, safety is a very complex thing, and safety is not easy. I mean, we need to provide, a very a high grade or an excellent security, excellent safety system for a nuclear power plant. The plant should be designed with high grade of safety. The entire plant should be properly shielded against radiation hazards. Whatever the radiations which will be getting released from the entire plant, okay, they should be shielded from radiation hazards, means like placement of lead, aluminum sheets, or concrete sheets. This all should be done by, because if we are unable to shield properly, then definitely these radiations will travel into the surrounding places of the nuclear 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 power plant. And even then, if we are negligent for a long period of time, okay, the in and around area, I mean the people, or I mean the life, the living creatures, I mean the humans, even the animals, or even if we are having any water resource nearby, I mean the whole nature around around our nuclear power plant will get affected if we are not shielding this nuclear power plant properly, properly for against radiation hazards. The reactor should be enclosed in a thick concrete casing. Okay, the reactor should be enclosed in a thick concrete casing, means the nuclear reactor vessel or the nuclear reactor should be lined with a thick concrete casing. Means, I mean, a nuclear furnace, whatever they use, the outer layer should be made up of thick concrete one. The radioactive wastes should be disposed in deep trench or in the ocean bed. Even whatever the wastes which are coming out of I mean, I told that when we have spoke about a thermal power plant, whatever the wastage we are taking, even it is not a problem, it is not a big problem if you dump it on the ground also. I mean, it is not like harmful. If it is waste, you can dispose it of properly, or even if you even if you dispose in a normal area also, it won't be much risky. Here the thing is, if you dispose it in a normal place, or if you dispose it on the earth surface or the land or the ground nearby this nuclear power plant, it will be very dangerous. Okay, why? Because I mean, whatever the wastes which are coming out, okay, it might have several type of radiations. Okay, and it can harm the environment or whatever the animals, living things, non-living things. Okay, even the air also might get polluted. Okay, this is one of the reason that this radioactive waste should be disposed in a deep trench or in the ocean bed. Okay, ocean bed means even even in the inside layers of the ocean, or in a deep trench. What is a deep trench means? If trench means, I mean, we need to dig it for a much heighter, I mean, the ground or the earth surface should be digged to a greater depth, and then this radioactive waste should be disposed. That is only called as deep trench. Coming to radioactivity control in nuclear power plant, the residential buildings should be 30 kilometers away from the nuclear power plant. So with this you can understand that how much effect of radiation will be there. Okay, right. Usually, I mean, like nearer to um, this nearer to gas companies, like that only, usually they suggest not to construct houses nearby the gas companies or antenna towers. Okay, BSNL towers, that also, because of the radiation, health will get affected, they will tell. Okay, this is as whatever we are studying is all about nuclear power plant, and lot many radiations are getting released through released released when fission and fusion reactions are taking place inside the nuclear vessel. So this residential buildings should be third, means people should be very far away from this nuclear power plants. We should make sure that, I mean, all the power plants is shielded properly, and it is very farther, or at least you need to maintain a distance of 30 kilometers away from the nuclear power plants. Proper care should be taken against toxic and radiological hazards. See, as whatever the nuclear waste which we are getting, okay, and whatever the radiations which are coming out, everything is dangerous, everything is toxic, everything will affect the life of human. Okay, human or everything will affect the life of animals and humans. So definitely we need to be very careful. I mean, we need to shield everything properly. Okay, even radioactive waste should be dumped properly. Everything, I mean, should be done according to the applied conditions. Okay, right. Special care is to be taken to prevent the leakage of liquids containing radioactive substances into the ground in the area around the station. Special care is to be taken. Why special care is to be taken? To prevent the leakage of liquids containing radioactive substances into the ground in the area around stations, around the nuclear power stations also. I mean, leakage of liquids containing radioactive waste, even whatever the radioactive wastes are there. Okay, that if suppose that the radioactive wastes are in the form of radioactive waste are in the form of liquids. Okay, so this radioactive waste should not be dumped in the area, in the ground, or in the area nearby to the substation. Okay, so they should be either dumped in a deep trench or on the sea, on the bed of an ocean. Right, this is about nuclear reactor vessel which they are showing. See, this is the outermost is the protecting shield. Next is the steam outlet. What is steam outlet means? Here directly you are passing water. I mean, you are using water only as coolant. Okay, this water is entering from the heat exchanger. Okay, cool water is entering from the heat exchanger into nuclear reactor vessel, and because of the heat released by nuclear fission reactions, okay, this hot water is coming out and it is moving into the heat exchanger. Okay, this is happening, and and in the heat exchanger, whatever the water which is surrounding this which is surrounding the tubes of coolant, okay, that water will increase its temperature and water will be converted into steam. So this is the water inlet, this is the steam outlet. Again, you are having control rods. Your control rods here uh, are of light orange type of color, and your moderator is in between, is in between fuel. You are having between fuel rods, you are having your moderator, right? So this is about nuclear reactor vessel. They have shown the all parts whichever are there. I mean, the inlets and outlets, what are the what are all what all parts are there in our nuclear reactor vessel, they are showing. Right. What is main control of nuclear reactor? Okay, what are the main parts of nuclear reactor, or what are the main parts which are necessary for controlling our nuclear reactor? Okay, shielding. What all parts should be there means outermost is shielding, reflector. Reflector is again to reflect the neutrons whichever are coming out of the nuclear reaction, so that these neutrons might not escape into the reactor vessel or outside the reactor vessel and get wasted. Okay, next is control rods, next is moderators, and next is pressure vessel or reactor core. Okay, reactor furnace, reactor core, pressure vessel, or reactor vessel also they tell. Okay, next is shielding. Why shielding is required? It is necessary to protect the walls of the nuclear vessel from radiation damage. Okay, nuclear reactor vessel walls also might get damaged due to radiation. So it is necessary to protect the walls of nuclear reactor vessel from radiation damage. Okay, so shields, why are shields provided means, I mean, there are chances that, I mean, due to continuous exposure to this radiations which are getting out of nuclear fuel, okay, this reactor vessel might get damaged. So we need to provide a shielding to this nuclear reactor vessel. Next is it also protects the operating personnel from the exposure of radiations. Okay, operating personnel also will be protected from the radiations. Why? Because if we are not shielding this nuclear reactor vessel properly, if shield is not providable, then definitely whoever the operator who is operating the nuclear reactor, he will get exposed to this radiation. Inner shielding of reactor is made of steel lining, and outer shielding is made of thick concrete. Okay, our inner shielding is made up of steel lining and outer shielding is made up of thick concrete, and concrete is about 1.8 to 3 meters. Okay, means a thick shielding will be done with concrete outside the nuclear reactor vessels. Okay, dosimeters. Dosimeters are used for measuring radiation intensity inside and outside the reactor building. Okay, the dosimeters means they measure the radiation intensity inside and outside the reactor building. Means these are like measuring equipments, okay, which will measure like how we have temperature sensor like that. These are just like radiation sensors. Okay, how much intensity of radiation is getting exposed inside on the inner walls of the nuclear reactor, and how much radiation intensity is there for outer walls of nuclear reactor. The maximum level of radiological protection is equals to, the maximum level of radiological protection is equals to 0.3 radiation per week. If 500 radiation is considered to be deadly dose, if what happens is, if shielding is not done properly, or if shielding is not done, suppose directly a person is coming in contact with this nuclear radiation, then due to heavy, if suppose that there are any, if there is any heavy exposure of nuclear radiation, then there is a chance that he might he might lose his life also. So 500 radiation R is considered to be a deadly dose. What are the properties of good shielding materials? Okay, let us discuss what are the properties of good shielding materials. It must have high efficiency for absorbing gamma radiations with minimum thickness of shielding materials. Okay, what are the shielding materials which you are using, like for inner shield and for outer shield? Whatever the radiation materials you are using, it should have high absorbing capacity of gamma radiations with minimum thickness of shielding materials. The shielding material also should be a bit thin. It should be have minimum thickness, and it should absorb more and more amount of gamma radiations. Why? Because this gamma radiations even can travel through solids also. So first these should be absorbed properly by our shielding materials. If it is well and good if the shielding material's thickness is minimum. Density of the material must remain constant during the operation. Okay, density of the material should remain constant during the operation. It should not have local cavities and cracks through which radiation may leak. Okay, density of the material must remain constant during the operation, means whatever the shielding material you are using, due to exposure of radiation, its mass or its density should not change, means its mass or volume should not change due to its exposure to radiation. Means density of the material should remain constant during the operation. Next is, it should not have local cavities and cracks through which radiation may leak. Okay, if suppose this radiation shield, this shields, if they are having any cracks or cavities, then there is a chance that radiation might leak. Next, it must have high density to attenuate the gamma radiations, and it must contain light material, hydrogen and water to attenuate neutrons. Okay, this good shielding materials should have high density to attenuate the gamma radiations. Density of this materials also should be high. Why the density should be high? Means it should be able to cut down the gamma radiations. Suppose these radiations are coming and they are touching the shield, means the shield uh, should have such a property that our shield should be so perfect that it needs to attenuate or cut down the gamma radiations which are coming, and which are coming in contact with the shielding material. And it must contain light material, hydrogen or water to attenuate neutrons. Even in order to attenuate neutrons also, this good shielding material, it must contain light material, hydrogen or water to attenuate neutrons. Even in order to cut down the neutrons also, you need to have light water materials like hydrogen or water. Next is fifth one, it should not be decomposed or weakened during the influence of radiation. Good shielding material means it should not be decomposed. If suppose due to exposure to radiation or due to exposure to heat, I mean the material should not become feeble, or it should not decompose, or it should not react with any with any radiation or with any gas. Okay, like that the material should not get decomposed, or it should not get it should not participate in any reactions. Next, it should be fire resistant, right? Why? Because more and more amount of heat is liberated, right? If this material will catch fire easily, if suppose if suppose this shielding material has a property of catching fire easily, then what happens is, due to high temperature high temperature inside the nuclear reactor, easily the nuclear reactor vessel will burn off. So they should be heat resistant also. They should not easily they should not easily catch fire. Okay, it should be fire resistant. Okay, so these are the properties of good shielding materials. In the next class, I will deal with what materials is shielding, with the what material with what materials we prepared this shielding. I mean shielding, and what are the types of materials which we use. Okay, all we will discuss. Okay, for today's class I will end up till here. Okay, thank you.